My name is Peter Nelson. I'm a jazz trombonist and singer in New York City. I grew up in Lansing, Michigan, in an incredibly multicultural kind of urban community, and I was exposed to salsa music and improvised music at a very early age. And I grew up improvising at doing like folk jam sessions at this place called Magdalena's Tea House when I was like 12 or 13 years old. I looked at the trombone and I said, there's no buttons on that one. That must make it unique. It must be, I like that idea. And that's, I started playing it and I immediately fell in love. I felt like the timbre, the sound of the trombone was a natural way for me to relate to music. This is just the tool to express the music that's already here, here, and here. And we often hear this aphorism, music is a universal language, right? People say that and they think it's some romantic concept, but it's not. It's very literal. Every ingredient of language, phrasing, articulation, timbre, register, dynamic, range, all of these, tempo, rhythm, every single ingredient in language exists in music, except that we have literal connotation attached to words, meaning it's absolute by nature. And we have just emotional connotation attached to the collection of pitches, right? So for me, my relationship is with sound. When I express, I know exactly the notes that the sounds that I'm playing, and that kind of came first. So when I don't have my horn, I still sing everything that I would play, and when I play everything that I would sing. So it's all coming from the same space, Multi-instrumentalists talk about that all the time, right? Is that it's all music. It's all the same 12 notes. I was really fortunate to attend Michigan State University. The Jazz Studies program there is amazing. It's kind of a diamond in the rough program in that community. And then I moved out to New York right afterwards. And have lived here for about 5 years now, and I'm very excited to be playing music in this city, in a city that's so saturated with incredible creative talent. It feels like the art and the music that's meant the most to me has all come from this city, has all been born in this city or born of people that have spent a great deal of time in this city, so it felt like the natural move to be a part of that. This year we featured 2 different ensembles. We featured the quartet. The rhythm section was William Dellisford on piano, Raviv Markowitz on bass, Itai Morchi, a very close friend of mine, on drums, and then one quintet featured Haley Niswanger on alto saxophone. The other featured Alexa Barcini on vocals, and she penned some lyrics to some of my songs. That was a lot of fun. For my own projects, I am very excited about a new record that we're releasing this summer. Is a bit of a musical narrative on an experience that I went through. And the music moves as a chronological narrative throughout this experience I had that was a very physically debilitating experience, but it got me in touch. It helped me get in touch with the reason that I played music in the first place, and my trust in myself creatively, and my natural relationship to sound and sonic expression, and so it was at first a very difficult experience, but led to these important realizations, not only physiologically, but obviously emotionally and creatively and spiritually. There's a trio with vibraphonist Nikara Warren, Alexa Barcini again on vocals, and myself on trombone, and that the music in that really sets the melodic narrative for the rest of the record, and there are themes that are explored throughout the record that are expressed in those instrumentation. There's a quartet with William Dellisford, Raviv Markowitz, and Itai Morchi, the same group from the EP, and then the additional horn players are Yuma Uesaka on bass clarinet, Josh Lawrence on trumpet, and Haley Niswanger again on alto saxophone. Often is the case, we find ourselves trying to fit in molds that are unnatural, right? That are created by someone else, and that are created by, maybe even not even created by someone else, maybe created by our assumption of what we think someone else might think. But you know, truly it's about relationships, it's about the relationship with ourselves and the way that we create naturally, and then we bring that to a community, we bring that to a communal context, whether it be a quartet, a trio, or a larger ensemble like that, and I think that sonic relationship, our relationship with sound is such a personal thing, and I had to get back to that. I had to stop thinking about trombone as technique and all these silly things that are you know, kind of symptoms. They're in service of the music rather than something that should be at the forefront. And I've now just got back to just creating, which is what I'm interested, which is you know, what I was interested in the first place. So I'm very happy to be back in that space, and very happy to be trusting myself again in that space. It was created with the intention not only to be, you know, this kind of catharsis for me, but to represent things that maybe people are afraid to admit, as far as being hurt by these things and being afraid, you know, being all right with being fearful, and then understanding that fear and moving through it without dismissing it, you know. And I think that this project, I hope that this project is that for more than just me, right? I hope that this project, somebody else can find that same release.